Has this ever happened to you? You want to install a Python package, but then you get this little error? You might be tempted to go ahead and break system packages, but I'll tell you from first-hand experience, you don't want to go down that path, bucko. No, today we're going to go over how to install it the correct way. The things I should have known years ago as a seasoned Linux guy. So let's jump in. Okay, we're going to install a Python application the correct way. Unlike the way I've been doing it for quite a while, which is to break system packages. Most of the time you do not want to break system packages. Seems like an obvious thing, but I've scrambled plenty of systems by not doing it the correct way. So today I'm going to show you how to use a Python virtual environment and kind of how to wrap your brain around that concept. Let's start out by going to our brand new system right here, and I'm going to install some packages we might need that might not be in your Debian system. Sudo apt install. Let's see, we want Python3, Python3-VENV, Python3 pip. Now you probably don't need to install the Python3 package because I think once you ask for these two, it automatically gets it. But I'm trying to be thorough here, give you an idea of what's going on. So I'm doing the -yes so that it automatically installs any packages we need. And it's going to take a few seconds. Now that we have the system packages we need, I want to give you an example of why you should not do it the old-fashioned way. So it used to be as simple as pip3 install, and I'm going to use OpenAI's Whisper program because it's a good program. It's how I make my subtitles now. This is the screen you're probably used to seeing, and you could technically just append break system packages at the end of the command, and it will install on your system. You can probably get away with this with one or two small packages like Whisper, for example. But when it comes to bigger environments, better to go the other way around. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it the correct way. So first things first, let's make a folder. So I'm going to go make directory Whisper, cd into Whisper. Now, what it is, there's going to be a build of Python that exists solely within this folder, and so it can be activated through the folder it's going to make. So we're going to start with Python3-m, which I think stands for make, possibly, I'm not sure. I just looked it up, and -m stands for running a module as a script. So some of the tools are modules, and sometimes you want to run them directly. For example, a virtual environment is a module of Python, but we're using it to do something directly. I don't know if that helps. Virtual environment, you want to give it a name. I'm going to call it Whisper. I'm putting Whisper inside Whisper. Takes a few seconds. Okay, now if we look in the folder, we now have another folder called Whisper. If we look inside Whisper, there's a bin, include, lib. It's all the things it needs to have a virtual environment of Python. You're probably asking yourself, how do I use that one versus my system Python? It's really simple. You have to activate it. So we're going to do source Whisper bin activate. It's literally that easy. Now you'll see this little thing pops up right here that says Whisper. This is a little signifier to let you know that is the Python environment you're using. The cool part about this is we can now start installing packages with just pip or pip3. Here I'm going to do install, upgrade pip, setup tools, wheel. And it's just going to go. And it knows to look for the folder that I generated instead of trying to go against my system. So let's go pip install OpenAI Whisper. There it goes, nice and fast. Now, if you try running this without loading the Python environment from the virtual environment, it's not going to work. But you don't have to be in this folder to call those libraries. You have to simply run the source to your activate in that folder, which I will do as soon as it's done installing. One of the downsides of doing it this way is you have to download all these libraries for every virtual environment you have. So if your internet's not super fast, it might take a little bit of time, and there's going to be some redundancy on your hard drives. The good news is, in the year 2024, hard drives are cheap and internet's manageably fast in most places. But the nice thing is everything's self-contained. So no matter what kind of system version of Python you're running, you can have a compatible version here. Now that it's all installed, I'm going to go ahead and see if it properly aliased the command whisper, and sure enough, whisper is installed. So now we're in the system. How do we exit out? It's actually pretty easy. Deactivate, because you're already in the system. Alias that, so boom, we deactivate. We look at the folder, all we still see is that whisper subfolder, and to get back into it, all we have to do is source whisper bin and activate. Now we're in, now we're out, and you just use this little signifier here to let you know what state you're in. I hope you liked this video. I'm going to try to do more. I know I kind of fell off the last few months. I'm still setting up from the move. It's been grueling. It's weird to move your entire life from one county to another multiple times. But I'm going to get through it, and you'll see more of me very soon. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.